Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 25 map guide. Today we're going to take a look at Neu Bartelshagen. But before that, this video is brought to you by Mark Bauer and Mighty Mouse 05. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Neu Bartelshagen map, thank you Google Translate, can be found over at the FarmingSimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now this map is fairly small at 127 megabytes in size, but don't let the file size fool you. This map has a lot going for it. Now this is a European map. It is based in Germany in the Grabower Bodden area. Sure, I completely butchered that, but when I looked that up, that apparently is on an island or an area in northern Germany, as best as I can roughly tell. Any rate, let me read you some of the description. Welcome to Neu Bartelshagen, a small town on Grabower Bodden. All standard functions of FarmSim 25 are installed. There are 21 fields, 15 productions, 5 purchasable farms, 6 purchasable forest plots, 3 buildable plots, a horse pasture, pigsty, cow pasture, and a biogas plant. And with that, let me go ahead and kind of take you over here to the map itself, and let's pull up the PDA. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is there's a whole lot of yellow, or in my case, there's a whole lot of grass that is showing up here. So if we toggle the grass off, we're going to get a more contemporary view of the PDA, something that we would be expecting. If we zoom in, we start out here with our starting farm nearly the center of the map with respect to farm ID 94. That's going to be $87,840 to buy in any alternate game mode. And you can see farmland ID 94 is rather interestingly shaped in that we have our farmhouse up here. We do have a small greenhouse. We have a horse pasture. And then we go across the street for the farm buildings itself. Now, there are several other farms, as the description said. 5 farms specifically. And I'm going to try to identify where all of those are right now for you, and also to show you where the buildable plots are that have buildable buildings on them. This may be the first map that I recall seeing that's actually incorporated buildable buildings into the map outside of the Giants mod hub that is here on the mod hub. I do believe I recall a Stevie map that is making use of buildable buildings as well, but it's basically just an edit of Riverbend Springs, so I kind of don't count that one. Any rate, we have what I call David's farm here at farmland ID 93. The reason I say that is because, well, David is here on that farmland. That can be bought for $68,656. There is a pig pasture that is associated with farmland ID 98, and that is going to be a farm 3. So that can be bought for $307,905. There is a cow pasture at farmland ID 99. There is a buildable site at farmland ID 84, and that particular buildable site includes a farmhouse and a garage. There is a farm here at farmland ID 96. And this is going to include hay and storage buildings, both loose in the farm loft and baled in the bale and pallet storage building. We also have farmland ID 97 located here. This is also owned at the start. So this is also one of our starting farm as well, just a bit removed from the main farm area. We also have a buildable plot here in farmland ID 85, and farmland ID 85 has a buildable farmhouse. And then we have farmland ID 86, which includes a buildable garage. And that should be a rundown of the various farms and buyable building plots on this particular map. Now, we do have all of our standard crops available to us here on FarmSim 25. And we're going to leave grass unselected again, just so that we have a bit less yellow on our PDA look. With respect to our crop counter, we do have our standard FS25 crop counter available to us here on this map. As far as starting animals, well, we do not start out with any horses. We do have contracts available, which include the new contracts in dead wood and wood transport. I believe we also have rock crushing. When I looked through the map file, I believe I saw that configuration. With respect to productions, while the description says 15, it's not counting this greenhouse. So technically, we have 16 productions. We own the greenhouse at the start, and then we also have available to us a bakery, biogas plant. We have the carpentry, cement factory, cereal factory. We have our cooper for barrel production. We have dairy, grain mill, oil mill. We have the piano manufacturing. We have the potato processor, sawmill, soup factory, sugar mill, and tailor shop, all pre-placed on this map. With respect to our sell points, we have 5 sell points that we can take goods to on this particular map. And if we take a look at our starting fleet, if you select to own the farm at the start in any game mode, then you will have this starting machinery. We've got the Claas Evian 450 harvester and the Claas Vario 620 header for that harvester. We've got the Great Plains solid stand 1500 seeder. We've got the John Deere 3650 tractor, John Deere 6R 185 tractor, and the John Deere 980 cultivator. We've got our Massey Ferguson 8570 header trailer for our Claas Vario header, and we have the Rudolph DK 280 RP trailer. We do not have any hand tools at the start, and this map does include the 50 golden apples as collectibles. Now, typically, I don't go around and collect all 50 apples or all 50 collectibles, or however many collectibles there are on the map. On this map, I did go around and I tried to collect a handful, and I did come across one which I just could not figure out how to get the trigger in order to collect. So, your experience may vary with respect to if you're actually able to collect all 50. So just be aware that there may be one or more collectibles on this map that are not collectible in its current state. Now let's take a look here around our starting farm area. We're going to call this Walter's farm because we do have Walter here at this farm, of course. We have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger. Now, with respect to selling things on this farm, I would advocate against it. While lots of the things on this farm can be sold, not everything on this farm can be sold. And therefore, well, you're going to end up with some pretty undesirable results, I think, with respect to what you can put back down due to where certain deco elements that can't be sold will remain. So we've got our greenhouse here with our pallet point, our water point, and our interactive point. We make our way back here into our horse pasture. You'll see that I'm sure we're going to be able to hold 16 horses in here. There we have all 16. We have a bale trigger, we have a food trough, and our water trough there. We've got some of our machinery located over here. And this is where we have our shop trigger. So while we don't have a traditional vehicle dealer on this campus, we do have our shop trigger located down here at our starting farm location. And starting machinery is going to spawn here in this kind of cleared out clumpy grass area. Making our way across the street. This is still part of our original farmland that we own. We do have fill points for seed, fertilizer, lime, and such scattered around here. We have a fuel point. And then, like, for example, here on this shed. So we can sell the shed. But the buckets, they stay. But kind of more annoyingly, the bird's nest and the bird stays. So it doesn't vanish with the building. It would be nice, but it stays there, ultimately just floating up in the sky. So we have our herbicide fill point there. And here's your token freebie as far as collectibles go. We've got some more sheds here at our starting farm, and that's pretty much it as far as this starting farm location. So we have our dealer trigger here and our dealer across the street. Other things that won't go away are like these deco cars and such. So again, your mileage may vary with respect to what you can and can't sell on various farms on this map. So I would probably advocate to just not try to customize the farms at all, because you may have undesirable results, or at a minimum, save the game before you delete buildings out just to see which buildings will and won't go away. What we observed is we also own Farmland 97 at the start. I've gone ahead and kind of jumped down there. So we originally were over here, Farmland 98. And we've now kind of made our way down here to Farmland 97. We also own Field 6 at the start. And I've also gone ahead and purchased the other farmlands and buildable lots on this map, so we can kind of take a look at those during this segment of the video. So we own this again at the start. And here we have some, again, fill points for liquid fertilizer, herbicide, lime, seed, and such. We also have multiple storage buildings over here. Root crop storage shed for dumping and filling of root crops. So it's going to kind of act as a silo with a total capacity of 500,000 liters. We also have a grain silo located right here with our dump and fill points. And oddly enough, we've got just this random NPC, which is literally random, because in your game it may be a different guy or it may be a girl just standing here doing nothing, kind of freaking you out. And then to just give you a reference as to, this was the collectible I tried my darndest to get, and we can see the trigger here, but I could not get it in any way. So I know that that one is going to be questionable as to if you're going to be able to collect it or not. But the other ones, yeah, give it a try. And hopefully the map author will update the map with some more corrections. And one of those corrections would be raising that up or moving that to a point for which we can actually reach it. So Farmland ID 96, which is located right here, kind of just north of Farmland 97. This is a buyable farmland, and on this farmland, if you own it, then you'll have a usable hay loft for storing hay and straw, and you'll have a usable bale and pallet storage building for 250 bales or pallets, as well as this nice machine shed. We make our way across the southern portion of the map. We're going to come to Farmland ID 84. This is a buildable site. And on this site, we have two construction buildings. We've got Farm Garage 1, and we have Farmhouse number 4. So both of these are base game constructible buildings, and we can build those. And I've gone ahead and pulled together the information we're going to need. So to build Garage 1 at Farmland ID 84, that's where we are, we're going to need 6,000 units of wooden beams, 11,000 units of long planks, 5,000 units of planks, 29,000 units of cement, 16,000 units of cement bricks, 4,000 units of roof place, and 6,000 units of furniture. With respect to our farmhouse, here at Farmland ID 84. We're going to need 5,000 wooden beams, 12,000 long planks, 6,000 planks, 29,000 cement, 15,000 cement bricks, 4,000 roof plates, and 6,000 units of furniture. Continuing to make our way across the southern part of the map, we have our animal dealer, but we're going to come back to that. Here we have our cow pasture at Farmland ID 99. And yes, over at Farmland 84 or 86 or 85, either of those three build sites, if you want to, you can own it and then just sell that constructible building site. You don't have to actually build out the building if you do not want to. So here we have our slurry point. Of course, we're going to have our food and straw triggers inside of here. This is just a base game cow building. We have our milk trigger, and then we have our animal buy point where we can have 94 cows in this particular pasture. We do have our BGA over here. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Let's make our way up to building site 86. And on building site 86, we have the ability to build out farm garage number 3. Again, this is a base game buildable building. And what's required to build this out are 3,000 wooden beams, 8,000 planks, 14,000 units of cement, 10,000 units of cement bricks, and 5,000 units of roof plates. Making our way to the west, we're going to come over here to Farmland ID 98, and 98 is going to be this pig farm, and includes this rather luxurious farmhouse area as well. So we have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger and our wardrobe trigger. We've got a couple sheds here, there, and yonder on our farmhouse property. And then right across the way, we have our pigsty. And we're going to be able to do 30 pigs in here. We have our food trough. We have our slurry point there. And that's going to be for our pigs. Let's talk about David's farm, which is located right here. Now remember, our starting farm is over there and right there as well. Right? This is where we started. Then we had a horse pasture, the shop, and then the farm. So David's farm is here and includes a farmhouse, which is located right here. So we have our sleep trigger there. David's just hanging out here under this small shed. We do have chickens at David's farm. We have 9 chickens out of 20 available there. We've got some fill points scattered around for lime, seed, fertilizer, herbicide, and the like. And then 2 large machine sheds, of which the one on the left can be sold, the one on the right cannot. We make our way further north, then we'll come to building site 85, just on the other side of this tree line. And building site 85 is going to include 1 buildable farmhouse, farmhouse number 2, if you will. Again, these are base game constructible buildings. To build out farmhouse number 2 here on Farmland ID 85, you're going to need 3,000 wooden beams, 15,000 long planks, 7,000 planks, 5,000 units of cement, 8,000 units of prefab walls, and 6,000 units of furniture. Now with that covered, let's just kind of take a look at the various production points scattered around the map. Remember, we have 16 total production points if we include the greenhouse at the starting farm. Now, I like to come back to our starting farm kind of as our home base when we kind of recenter and go around and look at other things. So we've already taken a look at the farmlands. Now we're going to, like I said, take a look at our productions, and then we'll recenter again and kind of take a look around at our various sell points. So at our starting farm, right, we have our production greenhouse just behind the farmhouse. To the west of that a little bit, we're going to find our bakery. So we've got another just random NPC there. Oh, look, another golden apple. So we have an interactive icon. We have our pallet point and our dump point around the back there. If we make our way to the southwest corner of the map, down here by Farmland 96, we're going to have a couple more production options here. So here we have Farmland 96. We're going to find our Cooper. So for our bathtubs, our barrels, and such. Interactive icon there. We have our dump point. And then our pallet point, I'm assuming, is going to be right here at these open doors. There's no marker indicating that. We have our soup factory. So we have our dump point, our pallet point, and our interactive point is right here at the door. And then we also have our tailor. We have our interactive icon, our dump and pallet points located right there. We make our way south of Farmland ID 97. Here we're going to have our potato chip factory. Interactive icon, dump and pallet point. We continue to make our way across the southern edge of the map, except this time we'll just kind of take a look across the map. You see the map overall is basically flat as far as our farmlands go. There may be some subtle rolling of hills here and there, but overall we're talking about some fairly flat land. So with respect to machinery, it should be pretty easy to do your farm machinery or your farming with machinery that might be a little underpowered based on the horsepower requirement of your implements. Here we've got our sawmill. So we have our dump point. We have our interactive icon, and we have our pallet point right there. We're going to come back to our animal buy point here later. We're going to go ahead and talk about, I guess, our warehouse. So we do have our buyable warehouse here, where we can buy various goods. So all of those buildable buildings, if you have the money and you don't want to actually do the production, well, you can just buy the raw goods here, or the finished goods, I guess I should really say. Here we have our sugar mill, our dump point, pallet point, and interactive point. So we talk about the dairy production, pallet point, dump point, interactive point. Another NPC. I kind of like the use of these NPCs at productions and sell points. I'm not a giant fan of them showing up at random farm areas, just kind of hanging around. Get a little creepy. So we've got our flour mill, dump point, interactive, and pallet. We have our biogas plant. We have a charging station. We have 2 pull-through silage bunkers, 1 3-sided bunkers. We've got some storable areas for our machinery and such. We have our cereal factory. All our interactive triggers located right here. We have a gas station. Here we have our oil mill. And we have then our concrete factory located right here. I believe that's what this is. Yep, cement factory. So pallet, interactive point, and our dump point there. just north of buildable site 86. This is going to be our carpentry. And that should be a general rundown of all of the productions here on this map. Once again, we're going to kind of take our way back over here to our starting location and then do another loop where we take a look at our sell points. Right? This map has a fair number of sell points kind of just scattered around. Directly to the west of our starting farm, we've got another little kind of residential area over here, and we have a sell point located right here at this house. Farmers Market kiosk. Conveniently right here hanging out, we have Noah. We make our way back to the southwest, just south of those productions. Right, we have our storable buildings, we have our buy points and everything. We'll make our way over here to our animal dealer now. So we have our bale sell point. We have Kate just hanging out here where we can pick up our animals. We have a manure purchase point where we can buy manure. You can also buy slurry from here as well. We make our way north of the gas station. We're going to come to our farmer's market sell point. And then north of that, we're going to have our final two sell points here. We have our biogas, our biomass heating plant. So logs and wood chips can be sold here typically. And then we have the piano manufacturing, which is in essence a sell point until you buy it. Then it becomes kind of a production point where you can then produce a piano and then reap rewards and reap money as a result of the piano's sale. So we have our dump point there, and then we have our interactive point here to purchase the piano manufacturing if we should so wish. And guys, that's it. That is Neu Bartelshagen. Would love to know your all's thoughts down in the comments below with respect to this particular map. Keep an eye on the channel for additional map videos to drop as they are released from Giants. If you're watching this right upon release, I will have 2 forestry maps dropping here, one later tonight and one tomorrow morning, because we had 4 maps drop yesterday over on the Giants Mod Hub. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. We are very, very close to putting out our 1,000th map tour video. Between Farm Sim 17, 19, 22, and 25, we have covered a whole lot of maps, and I have to say we are just so close. We're under 20 at this point. We're under 20 videos left to go, or 20 maps left to go until we reach that 1,000th point. So again, please be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of the maps that are coming out for Farm Sim 25 and Farm Sim 25 news. Till next time.